think about struggle, you got to put things in perspective. When you think about hardship, you got to put things in perspective. 35 miles from here was the center of the Ku Klux Klan. But we protected our people in this valley. We protected each other. And an important lesson that you need to make sure you understand is you are not each other's enemy. You are here to protect your community. You are here to think about ways to protect your community and act on those ways to protect your community. That's what your job is as an African American man.
And that's what we need to do as a people, like unite. I don't care about your religion, I don't care about your sexual orientation, your gender, whatever. We gotta focus on a single goal instead of throwing all my shots out in the dark. If I have this one bullseye that I'm aiming for, then I'll be able to obtain everything I wanted and more.
Apply. I have to sum up all the good things I've done and the bad things I've done and take out what's not needed, learn from them, and start applying all these things that I've learned on these trips.
Look within. Restoration is also about reflecting, it's about healing. While we need billionaires, we also need willionaires, right? And you don't have to be rich financially to be a willionaire. All you have to have is the will to help your community, the will to realize your potential, the will to give and build for the next generation.
Of course. I'm all about new experiences.
Black male achievement is gaining value, gaining meaning, and being more of a family instead of enemy. Bettering the community, having children to take care of, and not leaving them so they can join gangs.
Right, so I had dream killers that were in my house, but then I also had dream killers that were in other places that I didn't expect. I had dream killers that were teachers. I had dream killers that were supposed to be mentors. Folks always at every corner telling me that I couldn't do something or I wasn't good enough, right? So eventually my dreams, they weren't deferred, they were destroyed. So once you guys believe, once you guys find your purpose, you have the will to go after it, right? Don't make excuses for yourself. It's easy to be mediocre. It's easy to sit down and not do nothing. It's hard to be great, and all y'all are great. It's the collective, right? So do you have the will to work with the collective and share your talents and build up your community and work in service in whatever you do? Because I feel like that's purpose.
What are the pieces of your story? Which pieces are the stepping stones, and which pieces are the stumbling blocks?
My mom died at 14 in front of me from stressing because my brother was facing life in prison. And after she died, I grew up around my aunties and I felt unwanted. And I grew up amongst struggles, but growing up in a neighborhood to where all you know is gangs, imagine being 14 and being shot at for a week straight.
Oh, I understand.
And all of that helped me transcend because I was able to have book smart and street smarts.
There are people and there are challenges that are placing an imprint on you. Their DNA, your DNA, has shaped who you are. And some of us have fit into this narrative that it's a negative story, and because that negative story, I'm the negative outcome.
Where I come from, it's a big gap between the older generations and the younger generations, where it's like, I don't know if it's the media, how they report us and how they make us look when they say, well, a 20-year-old man got shot in such and such neighborhood, or woman is robbed and the suspects is a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, and then it starts to make our own aunts and uncles and our own older people in the black community look at us as monsters like they look at us as monsters. So
Put your hand up. Come on. I promise
I promise to bring some wealth to our community. For 7 generations at least.
If you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. And I feel like I want to be the person in my family that's able to keep wealth within the family and pass it down to the next generation so that we personally can try to help fill in those voids in the Black community.
So do what you have to do now so you can do what you want to do later.